Okay, so April 20th, 1989, Montana Highway 200. There's this car crash.
Right, a head-on collision. Pretty serious stuff.
But it's what happens next that's just baffling. A woman gets out of the wreck.
Patricia Meehan.
And instead of, freaking out or asking for help, she just stares blankly.
Yeah, the witness said right through them. Then she calmly walks away. Into the night. Vanishes.
It's such a chilling image, and that's what we're diving into today. The Patricia Meehan case. What happened? Where did she go?
Exactly. Let's start with that crash scene itself. It sets such a strange tone.
So it's about 8:15 p.m. near Circle, Montana. Her car, a Chevy Nova, was on the wrong side of the road.
Yeah, that's what caused the crash with the other driver, Carol Heitz. Patricia crawls out, Heitz gets out.
And that's when Heitz notices the look in her eyes.
Described it as chilling emptiness. Just staring, but not really seeing her. No reaction at all.
No, I'm sorry. No, are you okay? Nothing.
And then another witness, Peggy Bueller, saw her walk across the road, climb a wire fence.
Climb a fence after a crash.
Yeah. And then she just stood there, watching the wreckage. The witness said it was like she was a spectator, like it hadn't even happened to her.
Wow. Okay.
And then she just walked off into an empty field. Disappeared. Police got there maybe 30 minutes later. She was long gone.
It really sounds like dissociation or shock or something profound was happening there.
Definitely not a typical reaction.
So who was Patricia before this moment? What do we know about her life leading up to this?
Well, she was Patricia Bernadette Meehan, 37 years old, living in Bozeman, Montana. People described her as responsible, gentle.
Okay, sounds pretty normal.
Her father said she was a very good girl, no history of substance abuse, that kind of thing. But there were signs of distress beforehand.
Like what?
Well, after she vanished, her family found some undeveloped film. It was this haunting self-portrait she'd taken before the crash, staring blankly into a mirror.
That is haunting. Echoes the crash scene description.
It really does. Her mother wondered if Patricia was dealing with shattered dreams, maybe disappointment about not having children. And her landlord mentioned she seemed hyper right before she left Bozeman for that trip. Agitated, maybe.
So maybe some underlying stress or mental health struggles already bubbling up?
It seems likely. And then there's this crucial phone call.
Right, the call to her father.
Exactly. April 19th, the day before the crash. She calls him, says she's under stress, wants to come home to Pittsburgh.
Okay, so she wanted to go home.
Yeah. They even set up an appointment for her to see a psychologist in Bozeman for April 21st, just 2 days later.
But wait, if she wanted to go home to Pittsburgh, or even just back to Bozeman for the appointment, why was she 380 miles away from Bozeman?
That's the paradox, isn't it?
Near Circle, Montana. That's way off course. Like a 2-hour detour from any logical route east.
It strongly suggests she wasn't just driving. It feels more like she was fleeing something.
Fleeing. Okay, so the crash happens. She vanishes. What about the search?
Well, for 5 days, police searched that area. It's vast, empty country out there.
Did anything.
Just footprints. Leading away from the scene for about 3/4 of a mile. Then they just stopped. Abrupt.
Stopped. Like she got into a car.
That's the theory. Maybe someone picked her up. There was a hay truck seen in the area around that time, possibly involved, but nothing confirmed.
And then the sightings started, right? The Phantom of Interstate 90.
Precisely. Reports started coming in of a woman matching her description, mostly traveling east along I-90. Her dad called it like chasing the wind. So many leads, so few solid ones.
Were any sightings confirmed?
A few key ones were verified by the family, sometimes using security footage. May 4th, Luverne, Minnesota. A woman sat in a Hardee's for 5 hours. Drank only water.
5 hours?
Yeah. Told an officer she was from Colorado and Israel. Very confused, clearly.
Israel. Okay.
Then, May 19th, get this. She was seen back in Bozeman, at a restaurant just miles from her own home.
No. So close.
But she made no attempt to go home. Didn't seem to recognize where she was, maybe.
That's just heartbreaking.
And another one in September 89, Victor, Montana. A woman calling herself Patty, who loved horses, got a ride to a truck stop. Fit the description.
What was the common thread in these sightings? Her condition?
Consistently described as quiet, polite, but exhausted, unkempt, deeply confused, lost.
And the Unsolved Mysteries episode, did that help or hinder?
It aired on her 38th birthday, November 1st, 1989. Generated thousands of tips, which is great, but also, well, it created a lot of noise. a fog of false information. Because, frankly, she looked like a lot of people, made sorting real leads difficult.
Yeah, I can see that. So this brings us to the big question, why? What are the theories explaining this? Let's start with amnesia.
Right. This is the one the family and investigators lean towards. A car crash, especially head-on, can easily cause a traumatic brain injury, a TBI.
And TBIs often lead to amnesia.
Exactly. Her vacant behavior right after the crash. Classic sign of post-traumatic amnesia or PTA. Just total confusion, disorientation.
Okay. And her wandering afterwards.
That could be interrograde amnesia. Basically, she couldn't form new memories. So she's just sort of drifting, bewildered, doesn't know where she's going or why.
And the reason she never contacted anyone.
Could be retrograde amnesia, losing past memories, maybe even her own identity. Her family really believed she doesn't know who she is. That's why she never called.
That paints a really tragic picture. But there's another possibility, more psychological. A fugue state.
Yes, dissociative fugue. It's rare, but it involves a sudden loss of identity, often coupled with unplanned travel. It's seen as a kind of psychological flight from stress or trauma that feels unbearable.
And we know she was under stress before the crash, the call to her dad, the hyper state.
Right. So perhaps that pre-existing vulnerability, that stress, was already pushing her towards some kind of break.
So maybe it wasn't just the crash or just the stress.
Well, a really compelling idea is that it was a combination. The existing psychological stress, maybe some depression or anxiety, combined with the actual physical trauma, the TBI from the crash. That double hit could have triggered a really profound and prolonged dissociative state, mixing amnesia and fugue elements.
That combination feels plausible, given everything.
It covers a lot of the bizarre aspects, yeah.
But we also have to consider darker possibilities, unfortunately.
Always, in cases like this. Foul play or misadventure.
Could the crash itself have been intentional? Her mother apparently raised that possibility.
It's something you can't rule out entirely, though there's no firm evidence for it being a suicide attempt. Another possibility is that she wandered off into the wilderness right after the crash.
That Montana landscape is harsh, especially if she was injured and confused.
Absolutely. She might simply have succumbed to the elements. Exposure, injury, died out there undiscovered.
Or foul play. Hitchhiking, confused, alone.
She would have been incredibly vulnerable, especially back in the late 80s. Think about the context. Serial predators who targeted transient or vulnerable women were active then, getting into the wrong car.
That's a chilling thought. And the last verified sighting was September 89.
Right. The odds of surviving out there, on the road, with no money, no ID, potentially no memory for over 30 years, they're vanishingly small. It's statistically much more likely she died somewhere along the way.
Maybe it became unidentified Jane Doe somewhere.
It's a sad reality in many long-term missing person cases.
So Patricia Meehan remains this enigma, seen in glimpses but ultimately lost. A ghost on the highway.
Mm-hmm. Your questions just hang there. What was really going on in her mind? Was it the trauma? Did it erase her? Or did someone else intervene tragically?
And her case is still active, right, in NAMIs?
Yes, the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. Her profile is there. DNA is likely available if remains were ever found. Hope isn't entirely gone.
It really makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a stark reminder of how fragile identity can be and how one event can just change everything.
So here's something to leave you with. Think about the hidden struggles people might carry, the internal battles nobody sees. What happens when that hidden weight meets a sudden shattering event? How much can a person change before they're essentially gone?
A powerful thought.
If you have any information at all about Patricia Meehan, please contact the Macomb County Sheriff's Office. The number is 406-485-3405. The agency case number is 894201.